After repair value, I take the 20% out. I still got to renovate the house, Mr. Seller. This is the price I can pay. Yes or no?
My name is Matt Piche, aka the Fruitful Investor. I grew up in a middle-class family and all I've ever wanted was freedom. By the age of 30, I became a self-made multi-millionaire, all from real estate investing. Follow me on my journey to travel the world when I want, where I want, while continuing to build a killer real estate business. Let's get it.
What's up, Fruitful Investors? In this video, I'm gonna be talking about the formula that I use to buy my flips off market from a seller directly and how we can make sure that we're actually buying it for the right price. This is a question I get all the time. I'm gonna give you the exact formula I use. So number one, most importantly, when we're buying flips, you need to buy at the right price. So if you heard me say all the time, when I buy my buy and hold rental properties, I don't really care what I pay for it. You know, to a degree, I like to get somewhat of a deal, but I'll pay market value all day long on a good buy and hold property that I know is in a good area. It's gonna attract a good quality tenant. It's gonna be a nice boring property. That's what I'm into. I also have a long-term mentality for that I'm gonna hold it for 5 to 7 years. So the price I pay today, I don't really care. I know in 5 to 7 years, I'm gonna make a ton of money. On a flip, it must be a real deal. And that's the big thing I'm gonna say. It's gotta be a real deal. And I'm talking like way below market value. It's just the way it has to be for flip. Why? It's riskier. You know, we're putting a lot of renovations in. Things can go wrong, things can come up, the market can change, etc. We need to buy at the right price. And in exchange for that, we can give the seller exactly what they want, which is the exact closing day they want, maybe the terms they want. They can leave all the furniture behind. They can leave whatever they want. They can have everything they want if we can get the price that we want. So it's very, very important we get price. And how we get that price, here's my formula right here. So what I do is, since I'm a realtor in my area, I know all the comps, I know it like the back of my hand, but I'm also a full-time investor. So there's no excuse. If you're investing in an area and you're flipping, you gotta be an expert. I always say flipping is a veteran strategy. It doesn't mean that if you're a first-time investor, you can't go right into flips. I personally wouldn't. I'd recommend you do buy and holds for a bit, make some real money that way. But if you have to, I get it, because it's cool, it's sexy, or you want to make fast cash, I get it. However, you got to be a real savvy investor and you got to know the comps. So the after repair value means what's the property going to be worth when I'm done with it? When I'm done renovating it, what can I sell it for at the end? So you need to know this before you even go see the seller. Now, again, like for me, because I'm an expert and I specialize, when I pick up the phone and they tell me, yeah, my house is on 123 Main Street, I already know right away, oh, it's a bungalow, it's a semi-detached, I already know the comps right here. So I don't really have to check too often. I can just do it on the phone with them, and that'll come with time, that'll come with experience, but that's the level you really want to get to if you're flipping properties. Like I said, I'm going to stress this, you got to be an expert. So the after repair value, so once I know that, I times that by 80%. So why I do that, I'm taking 20% right out of the deal. Why? 7% or so is gonna go towards financing, 3% or so is gonna go towards holding costs, property taxes, utilities, whatever. Another 5% is gonna be to sell the property with a realtor. You might pay 4 or 5% with a realtor to sell the flip when you're done. So you're pretty much left with 5%. That's the goal. You wanna be left with around 5% or more of the deal as net profit. So that's why we're taking 20% right out of there. So R times 80% minus the renovations, you still gotta renovate the property, that will equal the max purchase price for a flip. Now again, like I said, with a rental property, ignore all of this. We're just gonna buy it at a good fair price, we're gonna rent it out, easy, easy, easy. This, little more advanced. There's a formula to this, but if you follow this formula, like this right here, guys, is just pure gold. Like, I just gave you everything. This is it. This is how you buy flips. If you buy flip right here, you're never gonna lose money, pretty much. Unless something goes drastically wrong, the foundation split and the whole house fell in, like something crazy has to happen for you to lose money if you bought it here. And that's why today, up to this date, knock on wood, I've never lost money in anything. Flipping, buy and holds, anything, but flipping specifically, I've never lost any, not even a penny yet, okay? So because I follow this formula, I don't really wanna deviate from this. If I can buy a property with this, I'm good, man. So let's see a real life example. What does this actually look like? So in my area, right, a house like this, you know, a single family house with a garage, a nice neighborhood, right? The ARV on that all day long in my area, Kitchener-Waterloo, Ontario, Canada, is $650. When I'm done with the property and I make it look fruitful investing style, it's gonna sell for $650 all day long. I already know that going into the meeting with the seller. So right away, I'm gonna times that by 80%. So that's gonna equal, what do we got here? I should know these off the top of my head, but I ain't no math expert. I always use a calculator, okay? So 520, when I take the 20% off here, I'm at 520. So I already know this number going to the house. When I go to the house, I already know this in my notebook, 520. Then I gotta go see the renovations so I go through the house with the seller. Okay, the kitchen sucks. I gotta do the floors. I gotta paint the whole house. I gotta finish the basement, etc., etc. The average renovation for me on a single family property is about 70K, right? So all the videos that you guys see me of the recent flips, it's about 70 to 80K on average for me to flip a whole single family house the way we do it to make sure that we get that 650 final sale price. So if I take the 650s, the ARV, times 80%, I'm left with the 520. If I subtract the 70K, I still gotta renovate the house. I'm left with a max purchase price of 450. That's it, guys. It's as simple as that. So if the house is worth 650, I gotta buy it at around the 450 range. So this will deviate a little bit. The sellers might push back a little. Maybe I'll buy it for 460, maybe 470 if I can make things work, but I'm generally in this range. And if you're buying around here, okay, you're gonna win all day long, almost every single time. If you know what you're doing, you have teams in place, you got systems in place, you know how to renovate properly on a budget, etc., etc. So last but not least, this might surprise you. I want you to show the seller all of this. This is how I close deals. They're probably thinking, Matt, why the fuck would you tell the seller exactly what you're making, etc., etc. I might fudge the numbers a little bit, but I'm showing them this. Instead of 650, I might tell them, I know when I'm done with your house, it's gonna be worth 625. And then I'll do the exact same formula. This number might be around 425. They're gonna be like, Matt, that's too low. The neighbor just sold for 550, you know, okay, I'll come up to, 450, 460 is the most I can do, and I'll kind of try and land where I need to land, okay? But when I show the sellers this, because if you just go to the house, from what I found, and I talk on the phone, I pre-screen them, they're all good, and then I actually get to the house, if I go through the house and just say, okay, I'm gonna buy a house for 450, they're like, what? The neighbor just sold for 550. Why the hell would I sell to you for 450? Out of your mind? There's no way. You're gonna get told to get out of the house in a much meaner way than that, and happens to me all the time. If I say, okay, here's the thing. Here's how I got to this price, because they're probably thinking like, did you just throw that number out of the air? How'd you get to here? The neighbor just sold, etc. Okay, Mr. Seller, this is how I get to this number. I have a formula. I'm a real estate investor. I gotta be buying for the right price. I already told you on the phone, I'm gonna be lower. And by the way, I always tell them, look, my offer is gonna be lower than selling with a realtor. If you want the max price, if you want the most amount of money, you should sell with a realtor. I straight up say that all the time, in person and on the phone before I even get there. By the way, guys, I do all of this stuff, like all these pre-screening things before I even get to the house. Like I'll have 100 phone calls, 10 of them might be booked for an appointment, and the majority of the time that when I get to the house, we're closing a deal, like 70% close ratio by the time I get to the house. Why? I've already pre-screened them on the phone. And I'll make another video about the script I use, the questions I use. That'd be a whole nother video of how I see who's real or not. Because I don't want to be going to houses and houses and houses and just getting told, no, I'm wasting time, I'm driving out. Like I make offers on the phone before I even get to the house. Because I know my numbers so well, because I'm an expert in my area. I know all the ARVs, I know this formula. While I'm talking on the phone, I do this whole calculation and I spitball the offer between 450 and 470 or whatever. I give a range. I'm getting off topic here. I'm giving away stuff for the other video. But anyway, once I get to the house and they're like, Matt, 450 is just way too low. How'd you get that number? You pulled it out of your ass. I say, look, this is why. And I do the exact same thing. Go back 3 minutes ago when I did this layout. I'll tell them exactly, look, here's the after repair value. I think it's gonna be worth 625, right? A little lower than what it's actually gonna be worth, just to cover our ass. I think it's gonna be worth 625. I gotta times that by 80%, Mr. Seller. Why I do that? I gotta take 20% out of the deal. So you see, 7% goes towards financing. I gotta borrow the money to buy this house, the renovations, that's a cost of business. 3% or so of that is gonna be towards holding costs, utilities, property taxes, etc. So I'm gonna be left with, about 5%. I gotta pay my realtor 5%. So Mr. Seller, I'm looking to make 5%. Now the average profit on a house is about $20,000 to $30,000 per house, okay? So it's not like we're making hundreds of thousands of dollars like you see on HGTV. I know it looks easy on the shows, but it's really not. We're shooting for $20,000 to $30,000. And that's a good amount of money, right? It is. It doesn't always work out that way. Sometimes things come up, you know, there's unforeseen things, just like you see on the TV shows. Sometimes we only make 15,000. Sometimes we make 18,000. Sometimes we make 35,000 if we do really well. So you see, we're in that range. So then that's exactly how I talk to the sellers, by the way, exactly like that. So now they're like, okay, like I get it. This guy's real, he's a business, he's a pro. I get where he's coming from. Okay, so I take 20% out of the deal, Mr. Seller, but I still gotta renovate the house. I gotta pay for that. Now the average renovation for me is $70,000. Oh, no. This house only needs 10,000 bucks. That's what the sellers always say. The kitchen's fine, the floors are fine. This, not $70,000. Sellers always think 70 grand is like 500, like I'm building a new house. 70 grand goes pretty quick. Now I say, I understand. The kitchen is okay. The floors are okay. The walls are okay. I understand. So here's what I do. I bust out my phone. Here's our latest flip that we just did recently. I showed them the video. I do this in the pitch. This is how I do it. I show them the video of the property and I make them watch the whole thing. See, that's what I gotta do to make this house sell. I know the kitchen is fine, but it doesn't look like this. This sells the house. Yes, I know the floors are okay. You did them 3 years ago. It's a $150 laminate. I get it. It looks okay. It doesn't look like this though. It has to look like this for me to get the 625. So when they see my house, they're like, holy fuck, this guy knows how to flip houses. He's the real deal. So you see, that's why I gotta spend 70K. I gotta do everything. I know the kitchen you did 10 years ago, it sucks. I gotta do it again. That's 10,000 bucks right there. The seller, I get where you're coming from. They might not agree with the price, but they definitely don't hate me anymore, and they agree with where I'm coming from. So, again, after repair value, I take the 20% out. I still gotta renovate the house, Mr. Seller. This is the price I can pay. Yes or no? Simple as that. I can close whenever you want. All cash offer, no conditions, no home inspection, no financing, no showings. Nobody's coming through your house at all hours of the day, booking showings, interrupting your life schedule. We ain't about that. This is the last showing you're gonna have with me right here, right now. After I buy this house, we're out of here. They're either gonna say yes or no. So when I show the seller my work, and I'm completely honest, telling them exactly what I'm gonna make, that gets deals done. Guys, just be upfront, be honest with people, you will get deals done, you will get more deals done. When you're trying to be sneaky and you're being all salesman-y and you're doing all these tricks, you're mirroring them, you're copying them, it's just bullshit, 1990s bullshit. Be real, show them exactly what's going on, be a human, you're gonna make money. I tell people, look, I'm in this business to make money, just like you go to your job to make money. This is how I make money. I'm gonna make money on your house. If they're motivated enough because they got something going on, they're gonna sell the house. That's the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like it, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button so we can see more of each other. I'll see you in the next video.